I'm your host, T. Mitchell Bell, and we have here in the studio Judith Avers. I'm pronouncing that correctly, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I forgot to ask you about that. Because there's another artist, Autumn Ayers, and Judith Avers. I was so afraid I was going to call you Autumn. So anyway, Judith is here in the studio, and she's got some great songs. Really looking forward to you guys hearing this. What do you want to play for us? I usually ask some people to just play something right off the top.
Well, I think I'm going to do the first song off of my new CD. It's called I Am What I Is.
Listen to Neil Young singing about the red sun setting. Our pockets, they were dry, the forest was on fire. We would rub our eyes and dance around in the ashes that landed. Who would have thought that a little bit of music making could have changed things? But it did what it did, and it does what it does. I am what I is, 'cause I was what I was. I'd still sing for your supper, I'd still sing for your wine, and play this old guitar, do my best to keep the time. And I'll play any song you wanna hear, old or new. Pass me a beer, you don't have to listen much, I'm just glad to be here with you. They were down, arms were stretched way out. The sun was hanging around and burned our shoulders while we sang our love songs. We played till 3 or 4 to a crowd of not much more. Joked around with the bartender. Can I get a round from all of my friends? Yeah, who would have thought that a little bit of music making could have changed things? But it did what it did, and it does what it does. I am what I is, 'cause I was what I was. For your supper, I'd still sing for your wine, and play this old guitar, do my best to keep the time. And I'll play any song you wanna hear, old or new. Pass me a beer, you don't have to listen much, I'm just glad to be here with you. Bit of music making could have changed things. But it did what it did, and it does what it does. I am what I is, 'cause I was what I was. And I'd still sing for your supper, I'd still sing for your wine, play this old guitar, do my best to keep the time. And I'll play any song you wanna hear, old or new. Pass me a beer, you don't have to listen much, I'm just glad to be here with you. With you.
Nice. It sounded really nice.
Thank you.
Especially on the headphones. I'm just taking it all in, kicking back, and that just sounds like I'm out driving around on the road, and
Oh, good.
you put the music on, and it's a sunny day, and you're cruising down the highway, and it's like, yeah, they're great. So Judith, I was looking over your bio and reading and checking things out, kind of get an idea of you're from Kansas.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so from liberal Kansas.
Liberal Kansas.
Yeah, I think that's funny.
Everybody does when I tell them.
You've seen the. I remember the big thing about Kansas was the evolution school thing, and you'd see the T-shirts that would have. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these with the whole controversy about teaching evolution in the schools.
Yes.
And they have like the guy turning into an ape or something like that.
Yes.
But in reverse order. Yeah. There's another. I've had Brent. I just remember Brent Malin is from Kansas. I don't know if you've ever.
Really?
Have you met him?
I haven't yet.
He plays here in Pittsburgh a lot. I've had him
nice.
on the show, and he's another Kansas guy who's
cool.
transplanted.
I'm gonna have to track him down.
Yeah, you'll have to do that. I think he's from the same general vicinity too. So.
Great.
Yeah. So you started out listening. It looks like to a lot of real country music, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would assume so. I think so. I grew up. My mother was obsessed with Willie Nelson, beyond obsessed, and Patsy Cline, Boxcar Willie, the Mandrell Sisters. So I don't know if at the time that was considered popular country music, and then there was like an underground country scene. I don't know that I was tapped into the underground country scene, but Loretta Lynn and all of that. That's what I listen to all the time.
Well, that's the real stuff. The stuff that's out now is more like pop rock country, I think. It's like take a rock song and put a fiddle on it and a banjo. And
it's really loud. I've noticed that it seems like if music's going to be on the radio, it has to be really, really loud.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start screaming for your audience today. Hey, what's up, people?
It's fine.
I'm like, I'll never be on the radio maybe because I just can't get that loud. My ears hurt after too long.
Yeah. Well, being at a rock concert, we were talking about Neil Young before the show. Yeah,
I love Neil Young.
Yeah. Did your ears hurt? Did they do like a 25-minute song? There's like one song that they do.
Yes. I just went to the Neil Young concert in Pittsburgh, and it was worth so much. I mean, I would have paid double. It was great. It was one of the best shows I've been to, like I said, in about 10 years. And he just rocked out. He didn't care. He just wanted to rock out and play like 15-minute songs, every other song. And, I brought earplugs because I have some hearing damage from this time of my life when I was in a band for several years. So I didn't mind. I loved it because if you wear earplugs a little bit, it's really, really, you can hear things really clearly, and so it was amazing. He put me to shame in anything I'm writing or playing. It was nice. It's good to be humbled severely.
Did he do a lot of the electric stuff, or did he do any of the acoustic?
Yes, he did a couple of acoustic songs, but and they were beautiful, but you could kind of tell like he just wanted to get his electric back on, and so as soon as he had his electric back on, he was happy. He
is such like the craziest lead guitar player.
He's amazing.
He just like.
Well, and he doesn't care.
Hammers
it's so
it.
Free, yeah. He's just like. You had mentioned there's a school where you can go and major in old time music, and that's cool. But I also like the idea. I feel like some musicians, like maybe Neil Young was just like, I don't need to school to learn what I want to do. He's just like, I feel like he learned who he is as a musician, and he's just sticking to it, and it's so cool. It's freeing. It made me like let go a little bit with some of my ideas about songwriting, and even in the past couple of weeks, it's just like, why should I care? And Willie Nelson does the same thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever read The Tao of Willie?
Oh, I haven't, yeah.
Well, I have it on audio, and it's amazing. Do you have the audio version?
I don't have the audio, no, but it's like one of those books when you read it, you want to share it with everybody.
I keep talking about it. I'm obsessed with it, and I never have audiobooks, but I got that one, and he's inspiring in the same way. And so to hear Willie Nelson tell you these stories, and to kind of tell you, like, hey, just be nice to people. That's all you have to do, and you're going to have a happy life, and
pay your taxes.
And do what
too.
you want. Yeah, like, do what you want. Pay your taxes. Actually, I don't know that he would say that. Don't get caught not paying your taxes.
Yeah. Well, in case you just joined us, you're listening to Acoustic Songs Live, and we have Judith Avers here on the radio, and we'll talk to her a little bit more about how she wound up here in Pittsburgh by way of Colorado, by way of West Virginia. You've
Nebraska.
You've lived the life of that troubadour thing. I counted the number of places I moved. It was like 20-something in my whole lifetime, or 30-something.
That's great.
So I've been a lot of places.
That's amazing.
It's, from like birth.
But I like that.
Yeah, you have to get around to open.
We have this awesome country. It's really beautiful, and so it's kind of overwhelming to think, I really can't get to it all. You just really can't get to know it all until...
Especially from the interstate. Okay, Judith, you want to play another song for us?
Sure.
She's playing this really cool guitar. You'll see it on the video. It has, like, holes in it.
I'm going to do this song called Doves, and this song, speaking of Kansas, this started out as a punk rock song I was writing. Not that I could ever pull that off. I know I couldn't, but that's what song I felt like writing at the time. And my cat hates really loud music. I have this cat, and he'll just howl and howl and howl. He's probably the reason I play quiet music, because it's obnoxious, and if you put him in another room, he'll just claw, desperate for you to stop. And so I changed this song. I took it away from I kind of calmed it down until my cat would stop howling at me. But it's inspired by a couple of people I've met while traveling, and a person I met when I was much younger in Liberal, Kansas. I don't remember his name or anything like that, but he had confessed to this crime. And I've had lots of people confess things to me, so I wrote the song about him and another fan of mine in Arizona I met, and you'll kind of hear their story a little bit. And I was not something to behold. I sat with him in a pickup truck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Said he killed a man in 94 by his hand and a kick, wanted to be sure. He told me all of this in a pickup truck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we got to the backyard, baby, come on. Then we got to the backyard, baby, come on. Ain't nobody around. You up or are you down? But the doves on the side of the road go, hey ya, hey ya. The doves on the side of the road go, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. She was a desert queen on the stripper pole. She was the sweetest thing. Left him rolling in the aisles on the hands and the knees. 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3. She give it to him easy and she give it to him hard. Either way, she wasn't there at all. She was watching with her lady from the side of the street. 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3. And she'd take it off in the backyard, baby, come on. She'd take it off in the backyard, baby, come on. Ain't nobody around. You up or are you down? But the doves on the side of the road go, hey ya, hey ya. The doves on the side of the road go, hey ya, hey ya. The doves on the side of the road go, hey ya, hey ya. The doves on the side of the road go, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. smoke, I never spoke to them again. They let me stand up with my mouth wide open. Call them an enemy or call them a friend. But either way, you are calling. Either way, you are calling. Either way, we all call them when nobody's around. You up or are you down? When nobody's around, you up or are you down? On the side of the road go, hey yeah, hey yeah. The doves on the side of the road go, hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah.
Really, really nice song.
Thank you.
I think I heard that one on maybe I was looking on CD Baby or something, wherever your new CD was posted, or maybe I don't know if it's on your webpage or not, but I heard that one and I really like the 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4.
Oh,
the way
thanks.
that was pretty cool. I like the whole song, but I liked how you did that. So that has a lot of imagery in it. Stripper pole and like different people that are these stories. You know, do you like doing that? Like telling stories? Like
I do. I read a lot, and I like to. I like when books kind of get me in the story, and I like to write in that way, where they're like little tiny books or something, little tiny books to music, little bitty ones or something. I like that.
Yeah, kind of, and you can. It's nice that you can like write something and put somebody in there and make them a totally fictional character, but you're really actually kind of getting some things out about somebody that nobody knows. Yeah. Which I kind of like.
And I also sometimes like writing
hidden
about
people in songs.
Yeah, I like also writing about people I make up a story about, thinking I might know. I'm like, surely I can't be that far off. I mean, I'm not that special that someone couldn't make up a song about me. Like, they would probably get it right,
Yeah.
So I like to also do that a little.
So how you went to? We were talking about you moving around, and you went to Denver, you went to Colorado, I guess.
Yeah, I lived in Greeley for a long time and had a band in Fort Collins, Colorado, and I lived there for several years. I still have family out there.
Oh wow, and Fort Collins. I'm trying to think of where that is. I'm not off the top of my
Well,
head.
it's sort of let me think, north of Denver.
Oh, okay.
I think yes, north.
Okay, cool. I was trying to think of what I thought.
And Greeley is sort of between Denver and Fort Collins.
Yeah. Once you get out west and you just start driving, like everything's so far apart, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Like the scale just changes.
Definitely.
Blows your mind.
Yeah.
Here on the East Coast, it's so you tour and you could just go 2 hours to the next town, 2 hours to the next town, but out there it's just so big and wide open. I love it. I miss it. I lived in Seattle, so I missed that big, wide, open space. So then you went to. So then you came to West Virginia, right? Is that like?
Yes.
When was that? Like a 90? It looks like 90.
It was 2004.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. So pretty recently.
Yeah, and we were there 3.5 years. I still work there, actually. I work for a nonprofit with teenage girls there, and I teach. I do a lot of we call them Song School 101s for teenagers ages 13 to 18, and I teach songwriting classes, and sometimes I'll get grants to do them for, teaching kids Appalachian songwriting with a modern twist, kind of to get them involved in, the process. Or sometimes I do ballads, ballad writing, or sometimes I do general or folk or rock or whatever, and that's really, really fun. I like that a lot.
There's a place like that here in Washington, Wash Arts. I'll give them a little plug. My
nice.
friend Sandy Ambach and her husband Paul. Sandy runs it, and it's for arts for the kids, because a lot of the schools are cutting back on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they're a nonprofit, and they just moved to a new location. They have they do songwriting. They just got a recording studio setup thing, and they teach all that stuff to kids.
Oh, cool!
So
That's great.
It's really cool. And our daughter went there for pottery classes, and
nice.
they've got all kinds of cool classes like that. So you came here to Pittsburgh then after you were living down in some point?
Yes, we moved to Pittsburgh. We were, my wife was a medical student, and so we had to pick where we wanted to live for residency. And I had been touring a lot, and we had visited most of the major cities in the country, and we just always loved Pittsburgh. And we did like a secret ballot system to like rank all the cities that we could move to, and Pittsburgh was the clear winner on both of our spreadsheets.
It's funny when you grow up here and then you move away. I have a love-hate relationship with the city, and from an economic point of view, jobs were always hard to find, especially when the steel mill shut down. But I think the quality of life is just really great. And then
it's gorgeous.
And the music community here, like just everybody knows everybody, and everybody
shares. Everyone's really generous, and if we just got a show that I'm in a band called the Early Mays, and we just got an email from Heather Kropp, you know her, right? And she just was like, "Hey, I got this gig offered, but I can't do it, and do you want to do it?" And I mean, I've lived in many places that they especially wouldn't have turned over a paying gig to someone they didn't know very well. And Brad Yoder he's hooked me up with so many shows. I think he's the reason I know people in Pittsburgh.
He's awesome, yeah.
Because he's really the most generous musician I've ever met.
He's just a great person in general,
Great
the
poet.
work he does and stuff. And I know he works, I think he works over at the East Liberty Presbyterian Church. He does work over there and stuff. He does great work. I think he's a counselor or something too.
He lives down the street from me.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Brad and I go back to like 95 when I met him.
Nice.
On we played on YEP together. It was our first like songwriter circle thing, and
Cool.
So yeah, we go back. Brad's been on here twice, and he'll probably be on here again. So. I know I'm going to get all kinds of posts on the Acoustic Songs. Hey, get Brad back on. Every time. All his fans. Brad, get Brad on the show. Brad, I'm going to have you on, okay? Right now, Judith is here. So in case you just joined us, we have Judith Avers here in the studio on Acoustic Songs Live, and we broadcast at 91.7 FM on your radio dial, and we also stream the show live at WNJR.org. And you can see the videos and listen to the show afterwards if you go to acousticsongs.com. We record the podcast and put it up on PRX also for you other radio stations out there if you want to pick it up and play it. And Judith is going to play another song for us, I hope.
Definitely.
Yeah. Is this from your new CD?
Yes.
Okay. What's the name?
I'm going to do a song called Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yes. Since we're talking about all the square states I've lived in.
Square.
Or rectangle states. And I love Oklahoma. And this I wrote, it's the last song on my new CD. Down at your old place, just off the highway, you used to dance with me in your dining room every other Saturday when I was so lonely. Judging by the bottle, I'd say you were too. I see you in the cornfields, see you in the prairie dog towns when the music plays, when the bird disappointed babies, disappointed ladies still shake their heads at the thought of you. And all that leaving, the midnight deceiving, all too soon came to prove that when it came to you, I guess there were two. I see you in the cornfields, in the prairie dog towns, when the music plays, when the bourbon comes down. That was long ago, and we have said farewell, some with cocaine or whatever else. Me, I just stood alone, dancing with myself in Oklahoma, in Oklahoma.
Wow, that's really cool.
Thank you.
It like, again, I'm on the road and I'm driving and I'm driving through Oklahoma, and you nailed it. It's the imagery, is there. When I think of Oklahoma, I always think of the Dust Bowl and Woody Guthrie, and that to me, that kind of. I've never been there, so I don't know what it's like. But I think
It's really, really a beautiful state, and there's so much good music, and some, it can be just like Kansas or northern Texas, kind of like a desert almost, and then on one side it'll be like the Ozarks and beautiful green hills and water, and it's really beautiful. That song, I had been reading Kent Harif. Have you ever read anything by him? Plain Song? I think you might like it, judging from your music taste.
Yeah, I think we're kindred souls, I can tell.
Yeah, he's like... Kent Harif is this, I don't really know what I'm talking about as far as like literary stuff, but I think he's one of the most beautiful writers. Kind of like Steinbeck, very sparse, but you can just kind of get into it. And I wrote that song about my grandfather, but I wanted it to be written in a Kent Harif kind of style, like where you could kind of see without having so many words and
without being really descriptive, and
you could just kind of feel like you were there a little bit. Well, that's what I was trying for anyway.
Well, you did it, yeah.
Thank you.
I feel like I was there. I was closing my eyes and I was imagining driving, because I have no idea what Oklahoma looks like, but I imagine it's flat like Kansas, and I thought it probably has some hills because it's near Texas. So the west, doesn't Texas have like the hills, the West Hills or something, like the
I
west
don't
part,
know.
western part? I hear Willie, now everybody talks about like that part of the hill country,
It's beautiful.
Texas hill country, never been. I was in Texas for basic training, and it was hot, and I couldn't wait to get out.
I love Texas.
I was in San Antonio, and it was 126 degrees, and I was burning. I literally like red burned, Anyway, in case you just joined us, you're listening to Acoustic Songs Live on WNJR in Washington, and we have Judith Avers here in the studio. And so I wanted to ask you about the new CD. You just recorded this, and you're in the you had a CD release party. When was that? That was
I just had it in September.
Yeah, okay, and so you're promoting this, and it's called "God Bless the Brooders."
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about how you came up with the title and what There's one of the songs on here is "God Bless the Brooders."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I actually recorded the CD in the end of 2010, and I meant for it to come out in 2011. But while I was recording it, my dad in Oklahoma, he lived in Oklahoma, he was in the process of dying.
Oh.
And so my friend and I wrote, Anand Nayak is the producer on this album, and we just kind of locked ourselves up in the studio and, you know, kind of like most musicians do, we just spent hours and hours, you know, 17, 14-hour days. But in a week, we recorded most of it live, very little. You know, the main tracks on the whole CD were live with us jamming. There's some really beautiful, some of my favorite guitar work from Anand is on there. And I'm really into, like, guitar solos and stuff. I think I have a secret rock band inside that will never be able to come out. But I'm into, like, wailing guitar. So there's some, if you're a guitarist fan and you still like having guitar solos and songs.
Release your inner Jack White. Is that
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't really know. I don't know Jack White's music very well.
Oh, okay.
But, like, early Jayhawks or Neil Young, you know, people who still believe in the beauty of the guitar solo.
Making it howl, like
so,
your inner Hendrix.
Yeah, so in an acoustic, very chill form, that is on the CD.
Okay.
So we recorded that, and then, you know, you can kind of read a little bit more about the story on the CD, but different songs during the course of getting this album out, you know, my dad died, my sister died very suddenly, and then my mother just died. So at each step of this release, it's like this tragedy. So when I wrote all the songs for it, it was very, you know, I'm talking about how different people kind of cope with bad things that happen in their life. And, you know, it's easy, especially with election time happening, it's really easy to judge people that are coping in a different way than I might cope or you might cope with stress. And there's a lot of stress, kind of some of it's media-fed stress, you know, like, but the CD was about how people get by. So it's been really comforting. I didn't have a chance to listen to it for so long after I made it because it would, you know, I couldn't get it ordered, or then it was like under my bed for a while we dealt with stuff with my mom. And so now it ended up being a really comforting CD for me to listen to. And several of the songs on there were played at everybody's, you know, different funerals, and I won't probably play those, but
well, music's songwriting is my therapy. I mean, I write to deal with things, and you know, we as artists, it's hard. I like that CD I gave you. It was a period of time where very similar things like tragedies were happening and things like that, and when I listen to it now, I go, oh, I was down, you know. I feel like, but it was what I was feeling at the time. But you know, you pick those songs out, and you're like, this is that point in time, and it's a reflection of what was going on, and I that's horrible to hear that all that happened at the same time, you know.
It was within like 15 months or something of.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of really positive, upbeat songs on the CD, and they're so comforting. They just happen to be really calming to me now, so I'm really glad that we ended up picking the songs we did, because we were kind of needing a little bit of a pick-me-up at the time, and so
well, I'm looking forward to hearing the whole thing, and the songs I've heard on here I really, really love, and so far I really like your writing. And I was trying to, you know, get a feel for some of your influences. I don't know if really, like, I listened to James Taylor when I was growing up. He's probably the reason why I started picking guitar and singing, you know. But and I listened to, like, the one song Doves reminded me, like, you must kind of like that, have that Annie DeFranco kind of like earthy, kind of bluesy sound, soulful sound in your voice, but very, like, not overly, you know, it's very quiet though. Like, you pull that off so well. I'm like, just being you, but yeah, I mean that as a compliment. You know, I really love her, but that blues, you have this bluesy sound in your voice, but it's not a loud, belting blues sound. You know what I mean? Okay.
Well, I listened to her years. I had a couple years where my friends would make me mixes like, oh, you've got to hear her. And I remember working at this gas station in Colorado, and a friend had made me these mixes with Uncle Tupelo and James McMurtry, and he's very percussive with how he talks, and some Lucinda, and there was a couple songs from Ani DeFranco, and I remember wailing it in this like tiny gas station on this tape, and it was a tape deck, and so I always, and blues, I went through this really big, I've done it, I've gone through, I like all kinds of music. I did my Suicidal Tendencies Iron Maiden Fugazi phase, and I have like some serious rock love.
I think you're going to have to do the alternate, like Garth Brooks did, if you remember back. I don't
like
know
an
how
alter ego or something.
Yeah, like he did on Saturday Night Live, and he came out as that guy, Chris something, where he was an 80s
Yeah, it was amazing.
rocker.
I was like, you go for it, Garth. People shouldn't have given him a hard time, because
I thought it was awesome.
if you're like, if I'm going to say I'm a musician, it's one thing to say this is what I really like.
Yeah.
But I just don't agree I just don't think there's music I hate.
Look at all the different phases that Neil Young has gone through.
Yeah, and I want to be there for him. I'm going to support him through them all.
He's done everything.
And I like the freedom to do what I want to. And so,
yeah.
And I've been obsessed with blues. I haven't really gone through a jazz phase. I'm like, maybe I should try that sometime, but it's kind of non-committal. I love yodeling, just all kinds of music. It's freeing. I don't know. I sound like a hippie, but.
Well, you're in a great place for music. I don't like. It's interesting because it's like Pittsburgh is kind of the Midwest point of I don't know. You have the Appalachians that come up, so you have this Appalachian influence that I think Pittsburgh is kind of like in denial about the fact that we're actually part of Appalachia, but we are, kind of the northern portion of it. So there's this. If you just go over to Morgantown, you go anytime, you hear bluegrass jam nights all the time. They're everywhere, and up and down the spine of the Appalachians, there's all that kind of music. But then you've got this Midwest rock and roll kind of like metal shredder kind of thing that goes on too. Bands that come through. It cracks me up when I open up the city paper and I see Houston. It's like all these tribute bands. I go, oh, yeah, I listen to them. Yeah, I listen to them, But they're still coming through here because they still can pack, people in. All these 70s and 80s, metal, shredder.
I saw Kip Wingers coming to Pittsburgh. Did you see that?
Yeah, see? This is exactly what I mean.
People in their cars are laughing. I'm like, you listen to Kip. Kip Winger.
Yeah.
Don't deny Kip.
That's funny because in the MTV generation, and seeing all those videos and the hair bands in the 80s, and I was so glad that grunge came along. Really, I had enough of the, the like finger tapping.
I loved it. I'm like,
yeah. Get
those pants tighter and the hair longer and more lipstick. It was fabulous. I loved grunge too, though. Yeah,
as a guitarist and as a guitar player during that period of time, it was almost like you had to learn Eruption, by Eddie Van Halen or any of these solos. It's like because everybody knew them, and I just never had that kind of feel for it at all. And playing acoustic music then was like Dave Matthews was great because all of a sudden it was like Dave Matthews was playing the kind of music like, yeah, that's the kind of stuff I like.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I do like howling guitar music though. Yeah. Like nothing like you have to just like whip out Led Zeppelin sometime and just put it on,
Blend that kind of production like Gary Lourdes and Mark Olson, the Jayhawk duo extraordinaire. I mean, their harmonies, if I could sing like boys, I would sing like them. I just love Mark Olson's voice. I think it's one of the best kind of rock or alt country voices. in the country. He's amazing to me. I love him. But the production on that, like, it's so wailing. They just were like wild, you know. I just love their productions and how they got their guitars to sound. And I mean, it wasn't, I mean, like they were reinventing the wheel, but in my world they were. And so I was like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
I kind of think of them as more of like a jangly kind of Beatle-esque type of rock to me, you know. But when I was in Overland Park, we were talking about Kansas earlier, and he was playing at a Barnes & Noble or a Borders bookstore.
Oh my gosh.
I know, and I got there like 5 minutes late, and it was over. It was like a half an hour thing. He was releasing his solo record. It was like this real short, kind of like drop in, play a couple songs, and leave. And it was gone. I expected it to be a couple hours, you know, and he was packing up and leaving. It's like, yeah, there he goes. I'm like, missed the whole thing. So, yeah, that was my only. That was my introduction actually to the I don't remember hearing a lot of Jayhawks, and I don't know why.
Well, they're so melodic and fun. They're just really fun.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Did you get the CD when they reunited?
Yes.
I liked the production on that a lot too.
They were on Wood Songs radio. They were actually. I saw that show. Yeah, I was coming back from Nashville.
Jealous. That's good.
And I stopped, and they played that. I think it was this one I saw.
I really liked how they put that CD together. I just like the sound that they were able to get. It was cool.
Their voices just blend so well together. They're like the Everly Brothers kind of thing, you know. Yeah. So, but we're here to listen to you.
I'm like, get the CD. Let's listen to it now.
It's probably somewhere. You want to play another song for us?
Sure.
And in case you just joined us, we have Judith Avers here in the studio on Acoustic Songs Live. And what are you going to play for us, Judith?
I'm going to do the title track off the new CD.
It's God Bless the Brooders.
So this one's called God Bless the Brooders. And you had asked me a long time ago, we went down a wormhole. You asked me how I got to the title.
We were in a wormhole, yeah.
I wrote this song while, at night, one time while we were making the CD, the place I was staying, I wrote this song, and the next morning I had asked Anand if he would record it really quickly while the mics were set up at the very end of the day, you know, like, can you just record this so I have a recording and I can work on it at home? So we recorded it and took that take and put it on the CD, and so the take on there is when I had just written it. And
oh, that's awesome.
And then it was the title. And that actually happened with my last CD, Mountain and Shore. I had picked up his mandolin. I was delirious, and I don't know how to play mandolin, but I kind of wrote this little mandolin song, and I said, can I record it? Because I'll never have a mandolin. You know, I won't have a mandolin for years, and can I just record this so I can prove that I played mandolin one day? You know, and he has this beautiful vintage mandolin that probably cost more than my car. So I recorded that song, and then that ended up as the title of my last album. So it's this funny tradition. Now there's a lot of pressure for my next CD, but this is God Bless the Brooders. God bless the brooders, God bless the breeders, God bless the looters and the redeemers. God bless the winners, God bless the cheaters, God bless the sinners and the believers. Yeah, ain't God bless me and all I done to you. God bless you too. God bless the criers, God bless the killers, God bless the liars and the time fillers. God the loners. God bless the thinkers. God bless the stoners and all the drinkers. Yeah, God bless me and all I done to you. And God bless you too. God bless the old ones. God bless the new ones. God bless the cold ones and all the true ones. God bless the queer ones. God bless the rude ones. God bless the dear ones and all the doomed ones. Yeah, God bless me and all I done to you. And God bless me and all I done to you. Oh, God bless me and all I done to you. And God bless you too. Hey, God bless you too.
Nice.
Thanks.
Nice. It kind of has the kind of blues lyrical, quality to it, where you take a theme of something and repeat it and over, different thing again, kind of sounds like that. It's not a blues song, but it's certainly uplifting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. So you did that in one take? That was when you recorded it, huh? Just I'm writing this song and.
Well, I wrote it. I was like, hey, can you record this real quick? And we did it. He may have played a couple more times with me just in case, but just for fun, because it was fun.
I mean, sometimes that's the best way because it's raw and it's like when you create it. And if you record it then, sometimes it really, no matter how many times you go back and change it, it doesn't get much better.
It really doesn't. I like his approach to recording. I mean, there are some exceptions, but mostly he just likes me to sing things a couple times, 3 times, There are some exceptions, but not that, We don't sit in there and try to make it note for note perfect, and we just try to get the right energy and...
Yeah, that's what Dylan would do when he would record. He would have the songs, and he would basically just go, here's the... And okay, ready, roll tape.
Yeah.
And when the musicians would hear it the first time, they're not going to stretch that much. They're not going to overplay. They're going to try to stay within their comfort zone.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's good.
Yeah, but he would just roll with it. And one of that like a Rolling Stone, the famous song, the guy on organ was not even an organ player, and he didn't even really know that. And he's just like kind of behind the beat on the whole song, and it's part of the song. He's behind the beat because he's trying to not mess up. He's trying to get the chords right, and he's like he's like watching Bob to see. Oh, okay, yeah, So it gives it a different kind of feel. Well, hey, see, that was really fast. We're getting almost to the end here, and will you tell everybody like what's coming up? What do you have going on? You were talking about
Sure.
There was a benefit or something that you did?
Well, I have a band called the Early Mays, and we do kind of some darker Appalachian inspired, but also songs from that were originals that are based all over the country, but it's a little bit old-timey inspired, a little bit. And we have an Appalachian-inspired Christmas album with originals and like some obscure songs, Christmas traditional songs, and also some like poetry, and that's been arranged. I think it's going to be really beautiful. And we have a CD release on December 1st, and that is at St. Andrew Church on Morewood in Shadyside.
Okay.
And we have several things. I'm doing like third Thursday at YEP in November.
Oh, cool.
With the band, and several other things are on my website at judithavers.com. But the most pressing is I'm one of 14 women that were selected to do this kind of challenge called the Real Women, Real Songs. It's on YouTube, Real Women, Real Songs. You can also just search for me on YouTube and you'll come up with it. But we get a prompt every week on Monday, and we have 7 days to, record or, write a song every week based on this prompt for 52 weeks. So every Friday, myself, Friday's my day with Abby Gardner from Red Molly. And so and there's some amazing musicians on there. Amy Spees, she writes some amazing stuff. Mm-hmm. Carrie Cooper started the whole thing, and she's great. She's a great writer. And there's so many. Carol Ann from Red Molly's on there also. So there's just the group of us, and then we have also fans who've started participating, and they're posting every week. So we're trying to just infect the whole world with songwriting. So this week's prompt was arrogance. So every Friday morning you could tune in on YouTube, or you could find me on Facebook, and I post my very rough cuts, and they're just when the songs are first written, and it's really a challenge, and it's also really fun to think that at the end of a year I'll have 52 new songs that, I didn't get caught up in my ego. I just put them out there. I mean, I wrote this one, finished it, writing it at like midnight.
Yeah.
Last night or early this morning I recorded it, so I was going to play that one just for the heck of it.
No, I'm looking at that. Thursday, November 15th is the third Thursday.
Yeah.
That's when people can come in, actually, right? And
yes, and it's free, and there's beer, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And my band's playing.
And then Club Cafe. No.
The Beatles. I'm doing a Beatles tribute concert.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just looking over some of the things that looks like you're going.
Oh, I'm in Colorado.
You're in Colorado.
Next week, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I belong to Unity Church in Overland Park, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's one of those churches that a lot of people don't hear about.
Yeah, and they're all different. Some of them are more Christian, some of them are less, some of them are.
Yeah.
This one in Fort Collins is great. I really, really love playing there.
Yeah, it's just at least when we moved there, we were looking for a place and it's just something I saw in the newspaper about it, and we went, and we ended up becoming members, and I still listen to the podcast every week. It's very inspirational. I always studied all different churches when I was growing up, and I would study with Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons or Christians, Baptists. I grew up Baptist, Quaker, mm-hmm.
Anything I could kind of, Church of Christ, anything. I was always, trying to find a place that kind of included everybody in a really loving, kind of non-judgmental way. And there are tons of those churches around all over the country that I've played music at. I really like it.
Yeah. The Unitarian. They keep all the singer-songwriters pretty much in business. There's involved people touring around at the Unitarian churches.
It's great.
I grew up Presbyterian. My second great-grandfather was a circuit rider in Nebraska.
Oh, cool.
Outside of Omaha, Fremont, and he used to ride on horseback from one church to the other to do sermons. Sometimes like 15 miles apart.
That's cool.
So I'm in the process of writing a song about him right now. Actually,
oh, that'd be cool.
It's like kind of a, I'll talk.
You could put a whole CD about him.
It could be a thing. It could be. Yeah, I'll talk with you about that offline. But can you take us out with a song? Sure. That would be awesome. And thank you very much for joining us here.
So much for having me, Mitch, and thanks to everybody for listening.
It's been wonderful. Go to acousticSongs.com and you can check out the video. It usually takes me about a week to get everything synced up and out there, depending on my schedule and so forth. I'm finally caught up.
Yes.
I was like 3 behind, and now I'm caught up, so I'll be able to get to it this weekend. And check out Judith's website at judithavers.com. That's JUDITHAVERS.
Thank you.
Avers. Thank you very much.
This one's called Wandering Arrogant, and I just finished it at midnight, and it's up on the YouTube channel Real Women, Real Songs. Stop, redhead in the right hand, or left in the cold morning dove, stuffed from breakfast. Slow go, green thumb, a rider, told storing boxes and herds, children and birds fly by. Wait now and then yellow, son of a man, the station plays songs of another way to tell off with your head.